And good morning, and welcome to 2022. Who can hardly believe another year is gone and past? It's been a quick one. We've had some good times, and we've had some not so good times in our area and in our families. But in all, it's good to be here, isn't it? Welcome. We'll talk about weather this morning and what the potential is today. I'll say this, it is looking better for East Mississippi, the Meridian area, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, on into Tennessee and Kentucky, and these areas are areas of concern this afternoon. We'll do the breakdown. We'll go to the map here in just a moment and show you where we need to be watching to where that weather could be severe. Now, there's still an outside chance. We can never rule out, this is Mother Nature, that our area, East Mississippi, could see strong thunderstorms and the possibility of a tornado. You can never rule out because this is Mother Nature that we're dealing with. We can't rule it out, but the likelihood has moved north of our immediate area. So we'll watch that, and even Atlanta is involved in the areas like this. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. As we begin this day, you cannot begin a January day without remembering a true hero that happened that would go down in history upon this day. It was January 1953. If you were alive and waking up, you would be getting the news very soon that one of the greatest that ever lived, that ever picked up a guitar and sang to an audience, had passed away. As we go to Brick Gully Music, it was Hank Williams Sr.'s death that was announced early this morning, who was found in the back seat of his Cadillac there making his way to Canton, Ohio. He never made it. A little town in West Virginia is where they stopped, and Hank was pronounced dead. One of the greatest hillbilly Shakespeare writers there ever was, and you just can't bring this day in without mentioning what a great singer and performer he was. He influenced so many lives, and you're going, who is Hank Williams? If you've ever been in church and sat down and sang, I Saw the Light, or ever heard that, that's just one of many that he wrote. As Hank once said, he didn't write that, he just held a pen, and, well, God wrote it. He just happened to be holding the pen. Great line, isn't it? As we begin today, we talk about tragedy that happened last night, and there's no other way to word this other than tragedy. As we were, most were getting ready to shoot fireworks last night, we find out that there is gunfire in Meridian. And let me show you here on a map where we were last night. As we look at this is going to be in the 1500 block of 21st Street. As we'd just seen the numbers, I think it was at 17 for the year of deaths in Meridian. Now we can add at least one, possibly two more deaths to that number. There was a shootout last night, and as we look at this, there's been, the Meridian Police Department has not been able to update. They will sometime today because everything is under investigation. I got most of my reports from people that were on the scene and around the area last night. A call was placed to MPD, from what I understand from people that live in the area, of a mother saying that her son had a gun. When police showed up, he was firing at her in the direction of the police. The police car was hit. The mother was hit. Her official condition is unknown this morning. I'll leave it at that. There's been a lot of speculation. I don't know 100% for sure. I've been told one thing or another. Then officers, once their cars were hit by a hail of bullets, they returned fire, striking the individual that had the gun, and I believe he was pronounced deceased at the scene. Now, again, we have not gotten that official word from the Meridian Police Department because NBI is involved and the investigation is still underway, and we should get some official statement this morning from this. But prayers for that family, the people that live in that area, neighbors that were very close, that were shocked by all of this. A bad way to end 2021. So we say prayers for them. That's a tragedy to end the new year with. And I have not even gotten into this morning yet, and I've been focusing on weather as to what else went on in Meridian last night. And keep in mind, I even posted one where I had several people reporting to me, and I posted it, and I was teeter-totting on that of where shots were fired, because so many things can be fireworks can be almost considered gunfire. People, they hear it and they think it's gunfire. So a lot of other things that happened last night we may have to count as fireworks. We'll get into that today, and I'll do some breaking away from that and get you a report of what we know went on last night around the area. But that by far the biggest tragedy in our area as we look at things that happen. We are certainly hoping that 2022 is going to be a much better year for all of us. We pray that. Most of everybody that watch me have the same beliefs that I do. There may be some that don't, but we believe in America. We believe in the good Lord, and we pray for better times for our families and our communities. I think most people believe in those same things with me that are in our area. Let's say a few good mornings before we switch and go into deep into the weather this morning, because it's going to be a day ahead of us weather-wise as we do that. Let's first talk about Charlie, one of my good friends here. If you hadn't gotten your fireworks yet and you're getting ready to do that, see Charlie at the Red Fireworks Barn. They're open today. They're going to be there. Largest retailer of fireworks in our area there, and Charlie can certainly help you pick out what you need. If you didn't get any last night, maybe you ran out, drop in and see them. Highway 19 South is where you'll bump into Charlie. On the right-hand side of the road, you'll go through the red light there where Southeast High School, where you turn to go to it, and Charlie's on the right-hand side of the road. From artillery shells to sparklers, if the kids like those, the snaps, they've got plenty to choose from, and all you have to do is drop in and talk to Charlie. He'll show you around, show you exactly what you're wanting there, and get you on your way. Pretty simple there. They try to keep the prices very competitive. See, that's the way it's done there at the Red Fireworks Barn. See Charlie? Graduated from Northeast. Y'all know him. Visit with him today. He'll be open through January the 2nd there, Highway 19 South, near where you turn off to go to Southeast High School. So see Charlie. He'll help you up if you're looking for fireworks today. All right, good morning goes out to Candace Fuller. How are you? Happy New Year. And she says, thanks for all I do. I appreciate that. Mary Nell Morgan, how are you? Miss Gail Gafford is up, and I think I owe you a phone call. Bridget Packer, good morning. And as she says, prayers for the officers involved last night. And you have to know that is traumatic. From my understanding, it was a hail of bullets that came out there. No matter, police are just like us, folks. That's not a good feeling. So our prayers are with them. Debbie McRae, how are you? Kathy Thomas is up today. Donna Eldridge, along with Miriam Francis. How are you? Andrew Dabbs up. Let's see. End of the year reception there. Gail Gafford there. Sylvia Stewart, happy New Year to you also. Terry Ray said that I had some freezing up. It's been some areas of that are freezing, and I hope to get that fixed before long. It's been an issue for the last week that I've been trying to shake and get fixed. Joyce Parker, good morning. Happy 2022. That's hard to say, isn't it? Sean Poe, good morning to you from the Newton area. Good morning. Also, Donna Huffmaster White. Jeremiah Johnson. Hey, how are you doing there? Good morning. Happy New Year to all. Wanda Smith, Joyce Gressett. Also, and he sent us a link there to a Johnny Cash interview if you're interested in that in the comments. Cliff Gardner, Bree Packer, good morning, along with Brian, Mandy Guess, good morning to y'all. Gloria Ming, Happy New Year. Thanks for watching the weather. I do appreciate that. Charlotte Edwards, along with Angie Godwin, Stephen Watson McKinnon joins us. Reggie McKee. Whoops, like to make a mistake there. Terry Ray, how are y'all? Pat Banks, Happy New Year from Macon, Mississippi. And we also say good morning to Rita Pettis. How are you? Up in the Scuba area. Glad to see you there. Good morning there. Deborah Vic Van Devener, and also Tawana Butts McLeod. Did I mention, as we get into this, the chance of snow? We're looking for 81 today and snow possibly tomorrow night. Flurries. I didn't say anything that it would stick, but it is in the forecast of flurries. We go from one extreme to the other. So that is in your forecast of a flurry or two tomorrow night as temperatures will dive to the 25 to 26 era. Whoa. All right, let's go to radar and let's start talking about what we've got today, because it is some serious weather. And the further north that you go on the map, the more serious it will get for folks. We'll be here. We are going to have some thunderstorms, let me say that. And anytime this afternoon from 2 o'clock to about 10 p.m., we should be on high alert just watching the weather. The further north, again, that you go in the state of Mississippi, the more you should watch. Let's pull this up so you can see here. This is the new map. They have downgraded East Mississippi to a level 2. As you'll look at this, the areas here, northern Mississippi, all the way up past Nashville, Knoxville, Tennessee, as you zoom into this even gets into portions of Kentucky now. They've pushed this line a little bit to where it ended right at Nashville yesterday, which means it's just pushed a little bit further out of Mississippi into that way. Knoxville, right at the line, Chattanooga, Jackson, Tennessee, Memphis is in this, Huntsville, Alabama, and this will be north of Birmingham and north of Tuscaloosa. That will be kind of the line. Now, let's look at this of where we are. This is going to be Lowndes County right here. This is sort of the line above Stark Vegas, and it goes due north, taking in the entire Mississippi Delta. This is Tupelo. All of this area here is a level 3 now, which most likely is the more tornadic activity that can be seen this afternoon, and taking in this portion of northern Alabama up to Gadsden. Gadsden will be a part of this. North of Birmingham, as you'll look at this line is just a few miles outside of Columbus right there. West Point included in this, Berry, Jasper, Alabama. All of that is level 3. Now let's focus back in here on Mississippi side is what we see here. This cuts across at Columbus, Mississippi, north of Starkville, takes in all of Grenada, and cuts up just due north of Cleveland toward Clarksdale. Clarksdale will be in this level 3. If you've got anybody staying at Ole Miss and Oxford there, that is included in the level 3. Hernando, all the way up here to Memphis. This goes over to Far City right there. That's going to be in Arkansas, taking in portions of Arkansas also. Yesterday afternoon, that level 3 line was down here, right along in here. Now this has been pushed up, and we have it through there. All of this area now is a level 2. As we get below Clark County, and this is going to be Wayne County here, Hattiesburg area drops to a 1 all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. All of Jackson, Meridian, all of this area that we call the East Mississippi side, Central Mississippi, all of this is now a level 2, including Alabama, and this goes over to Shreveport, Texarkana, and taking in Little Rock, which means the worst of the weather when it'll start developing, and the worst of this is most likely going to be in here. Everything that I've seen, we should start seeing some thunderstorm activity begin 2 o'clock-ish on into the afternoon. Now, we cannot, I want to be clear on this, we cannot rule out that tornado warnings could be issued in our area, but most likely we'll see the worst of this area build in here and then move into the Tennessee area this afternoon. That is what is projected. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. We're going to see thunderstorm activity. The forecast calls for a 50% chance of showers, thunderstorms is what we're looking at this afternoon, with possibility of some of these being severe. We'll see these develop over coming across through this area like this. As we get into the Louisville area, they will build, and then by the time they get in here to this North Mississippi area, could become tornadic activity worse. As it goes in, I've seen this, I've watched 2 or 3 different models as to how this will develop, and as it gets through this area, as it drifts across Alabama, will get intensively worse, and then on into the Tennessee area. Does not, again, and let me stress this, does not mean that we can't get it here. It is Mother Nature that we're dealing with, and it could. The likelihood puts it just north of us, though. Whether it's here or here, we'll be here to tell you about it. We've all got friends and neighbors in these areas, so we'll be here this afternoon to follow these storms, to let you know where it is in relationship to where you live and where it is and what direction it's going. So we'll be here. Check back many, many times on this, and we'll be on it. Anytime after 1:30, things will start building and developing, and I'll be here to walk us through that to let you know all about that. Good morning, Sherry Lynn. Glad you joined us, too. Got you covered. Joins us there. Happy New Year from Kemper County. Lily Hampton, how are you there? Bernadette Odom is up, and she's putting some good words in for the good Lord there. Natasha Gilmore, Daryl West, how are you? Glad to see you there. And I do appreciate everybody putting where you're from and where you're watching. It's always good to know the areas that we're covering and where you are. If you've got a question, throw it up. I'll do my best to answer that. But here again, if you're just tuning in, here's the big picture of what we're looking at for bad weather this afternoon. All right, now let's switch this off and look at radar a minute and see what we've got as far as thunderstorm activity right now of what is developed. And let's turn this off where you can see here. As you'll see here, as it's coming across Memphis, just north of Memphis, already getting a line starting up here near Clarksville, Tennessee. This is developing. And as again, this kind of plays into what I'm saying, that the northern part of the state will see the worst. It is not developing like they originally thought, lower and moving across. This is going to be a little bit more than northern Mississippi area here. Now, as we look at this already up here, we've got flood warnings that are issued in Kentucky there, all across here. You see this line, they're expecting it to be extremely bad there with downpours. Now, as we back out and look at that big picture of this, Evansville, Indiana, look at that. Louisville, Kentucky. St. Louis, showers are really, really big right now. That's pouring just to the east of the city limits of St. Louis. Springfield, Missouri has a lot. As we look at this, West Virginia getting some light showers. Now, if we look at this, remember that straight line winds can also cause damage. We've already got the entire state of Mississippi. This is one of the few times I've seen this, but the entire state of Mississippi is under a wind advisory. And as we look at this, this is going to be until 6:30 p.m. this afternoon, 6 p.m. All right, let's look at what they have to say about this. It is going to be southwest winds of 20 to 25 miles an hour, sustained winds. Then we will have gusts of 40 miles an hour expected. That's for all this. So as we talk about this, make sure that you get your garbage cans up. Any outside toys that can blow around, the little plastic toys, they fly in this kind of winds. Also, if you've got the umbrella stuff with your lawn furniture, you know what I'm talking about, the metal furniture that has all of this, pick that up, put it up to where it won't get blown away, because it will come up missing. If you've got blow-up toys left over for kids, or those blow-up that you hadn't picked up from Christmas yet, make sure to grab those, because they will be gone, and you'll be hunting them for a few weeks. With this kind of wind, they will blow and be gone. As we continue with that, there's portions of central Mississippi, east central, southeastern, and south, all of Mississippi. Let's just shorten that. This is going from 10 a.m. this morning until 6 this afternoon. Gusty winds can blow unsecured objects, as we just went over. So that's what we've got planned as we look at the state with all of that. Now, this also goes into most of Alabama. Only that eastern border down here toward Florida and on that Columbus, Georgia line is not included in the wind advisory. This even goes up through Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Johnson City, Tennessee. Asheville, North Carolina, also in this. So this could be a weather event. Again, let me remind you, with all of this stuff, never discount when it's downgraded to a level 2 that we can't have some severe weather. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I just want you to be aware of what can happen. We'll have some periods of heavy rain that are coming out this afternoon. Again, as I repeat that, most of this is going to be north of us. We're going to have some thunderstorms, possibility of some thunderstorm warnings before it's all said and done. But the good news is everything that I read and that is coming out from the National Weather Service and those that study this very well is it is decreasing. We went from a 80% chance of thunderstorms now to a 50% chance in our area. That's good news. Maybe somebody's looking out for us. We need it, don't we? Without a doubt. All right, let's turn now and get into what some of the statistics are from the National Weather Service of what they've laid out today. And let me pull that up. And that is, get back up here to the top. I've worked on several different things throughout the morning. And again, we'll start going through in just a little bit and piecing together all the news that are coming out from my area and getting out anything that needs to be brought up from the last 24 hours. Let's start here and look at what is happening for today as we look at this. Showers and thunderstorms. And if you'll look at this kind of goes back with what I just told you. The rain and everything is going to be north of the Meridian area. As you come up here, you'll start picking up heavier rain as you move through northern Newton County into Kemper County and Newton, Philadelphia, and up through the Columbus area here. And then as you step across that Columbus line is where it's going to become even worse, where we could have the really bad stuff. It's going to be strong and then stronger, severe up here as you'll look at this line here of what we've talked about. Severe in the Mississippi Delta, that's taken in the Columbus area. That's where that line of number 3 cuts right across right there. Now, all of this area is a number 2. The Meridian area looks like it's going to get showers and possibly some thunderstorms. The further north you go, as you get through Philadelphia, Louisville, all of these areas here, Macon could see some heavier rain than even here in the Meridian area. It's going to be strong there. The further north, as I repeat myself there, the worse it will be this afternoon. So just kind of get that line in your head there. North of I-20, most of Lauderdale County will be moderate. And then the further north you go, Kemper, Noxubee, Winston, all of these areas as you cut across through Neshoba, Leake, Attala, Winston counties will see a little bit worse, and then it jumps up a level as you go past them. That's what we've got there. Let's step across to that Alabama line. And as you look at those temperatures, 81, 79, look at that. 82 in Yazoo, 80 in Greenwood. Natchez, Mississippi, 81, Brookhaven down to 80. All right, as we look at Alabama, this is that line that will be cutting across by Columbus as we look at this up through here, Hamilton. These areas here, just like the Meridian area, won't see the heavier stuff. It's going to cut across that northern Mississippi and taking in just that northwest corner of Alabama on into Tennessee is what we expect this afternoon. Strong storms arriving later on this afternoon as we look at this. Now, as we look, here's the line that the National Weather Service put out earlier this morning. They released this right around 5:20 this morning. This is the enhanced, that Columbus area that we're looking at, which means they could see damaging winds of 70 miles an hour or above. Tornadoes very possible in this area here. Now, east central Mississippi, including the Meridian, Philadelphia area, damaging winds of 60 miles an hour can happen, and tornadoes are possible in this area. More likely here, but possible through here. As you go down further south, that line there taken in Shibuya southward toward the Gulf Coast will be marginal risk. You can't rule out tornadoes, but they're really not likely down here with this number one. Now, again, as I mentioned, we'll start seeing the weather develop around 1:45, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock. We'll start watching all of this move through the area. And again, northern Mississippi, the worst. We've got some weather coming for us, and then slight risk down in this area here, this marginal risk at a number 1, 2, and 3 as it goes up through the state there. I hope that makes sense of how I tried to describe that of what's going to be going on. As we come across and we look at the Alabama side, again, that's that 3 area there up in the northern part, 2 and 3 for Alabama, 6 p.m. to midnight here, 8 p.m. to 3 a.m., and then 1 a.m. to 8 p.m. on that other side there. As we look at this, and we go back and you look at this right here, 2 p.m. to midnight again on the Mississippi side. As we move up, windy today. And again, the entire state now under a wind advisory. We've got that 2 area enhanced near Jackson, the Meridian area under number 1 area. Elevated threat here. We've got some gusts coming. As we look at this, wind advisory for Alabama as well. Windy there. Tons of it there. As we look at the temperatures over the next 7 days, this is it here. Mississippi warm, Meridian right at that line of maybe getting normal. From there all the way to the Gulf Coast, well, looks like it'll be a little bit warmer there as we get into areas of northern Mississippi, starting to cool down and even into Tennessee. Now, let's get into this 7-day forecast of what is going on and what is likely to happen over the next 7 days. Today, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 o'clock. Some of them going to be severe. We've got 35-mile-an-hour gusts expected, partly sunny at times with a high of 81. By tonight, showers and thunderstorms before 3 a.m., and then likely some showers between there and daylight. Gusts still around 30. The low tonight will be right at 59 degrees. Sunday, we start seeing a change of what's going on. 70% chance of thunderstorms. As you'll see, we've got more thunderstorm activity lined up for tomorrow than we do today. Showers likely after 11 o'clock. Temperatures will begin falling at around lunchtime after 11 o'clock to 46 degrees by 5 p.m. So we're going to be at a high of 64 when we start out. And then those temperatures will start dropping at 11. Now, as we get into some of this, Sunday night, let's go ahead and look at this because this is where we start seeing the S word dropped into it. Sunday night, rain and showers are going to be likely, possibly mixing with snow after 7 p.m. That's the S word. Now, I didn't say we'd get accumulation, but we might see a snow flurry. And I say flur, not flurries, flur or 2 in our area. It will gradually end and cloudy and becoming with a low of 28. So if we were to get a lot, it would stick at that temperature at 28 degrees. That's usually 28, 29, that magical place to where it will stick. But again, it's just an occasional mixing of snow that we're calling for. But it is our first word of this winter. The S word is in there. So we'll watch this if that forecast change. Again, I don't put a whole lot of stock into it, but it is a good feeling to know that we could get a flurry. So we'll keep you up to date on that. As Monday comes about, sunshine and 48. More gust. And again, that high is only going to be 47 to 48 on Monday. Look at the temperature change from today to Monday. 47 there. It's going to be cold. Y'all keep this in mind. Dig out those jackets. You're going to need it over the next 48 hours. As we go into Monday night's low, 28 degrees. And I urge each of y'all to start getting prepared on your pipes. If you have not winterized your home, make sure you do this. If your home is elevated, whether your house is built up on blocks or if you live in a mobile home and you have not wrapped your pipes, do this because that cold air goes under there and you'll wake up Monday morning and nothing will work. You won't be able to get a shower. You'll have to call somebody. So go ahead today, by the very latest, by tomorrow morning, and start wrapping those pipes. Cover up those outside pipes there, your faucets. Cover that up. Wrap them up. If you've got that the new PEC pipe to where you can turn off certain areas, do that also. So do that. We'll watch that very closely. With the temperature change there. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next 7 days into the new year as we look at this. Temps all the way through the 15th. Here we are. Look at that. Mostly sunny and 45 on the 7th. We've got a high temperature of 71 there on Sunday, and as we start seeing it level out around 50, mid-50s there through about the 15th. Nothing drastically cold, but we do have some bad weather, some cooler weather in the forecast rather than 80s. That's the good news. All right, let's talk about deer hunting for today. And a lot of folks like that also. Yeah, our first major time is going to be around lunchtime. If you're into sitting into the wind, this is your day. They put it as probably one of the best times that you can go during this right before that storm where the animals are getting prepared. If you want to be out there in it, I don't highly suggest that at all. As we look at the wind, it's going to be southwest wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour, with gusts as high as 35 miles an hour. That will bend trees. Be careful if you choose to go out. That you can, but that's in the forecast of that. Coming up, we've got more on the way. Stay close, and we'll tell you all about it. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Yellow onions, a 3-pound bag, only $1.99. Cuties or halos, a 3-pound bag, only $6.99. Green bell peppers, 89 cents each. Piggly Wiggly black-eyed peas, 15-ounce can, 79 cents. Coca-Cola products, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $10. And certified Angus beef ribeye steak, family pack, $14.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Greg's Fireworks in the Clarkdale community is celebrating 25 years of business. Open daily through January the 2nd with the lowest prices around and the largest selection you can find. It's heated and air conditioned. From 500-gram cakes to novelty items like sparklers for kids, gender reveals, and wedding sparklers. And don't forget your bottle rockets. Find all of your fireworks at Greg's Fireworks, 5169 Highway 145, in the Clarkdale community, celebrating 25 years of business. Greg will be there today also to take care of you. As we go back to look at radar before we close out, let me show you this. We're already starting to show some thunderstorm activity building here right above Memphis right now. Some heavy activity there. This is going to be cutting across that Millington, Munford, all in that area there with some thunderstorm activity making its way across there. No warnings issued in those areas, but expect that to happen a little bit later. Again, be on your weather eye after 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll watch this closely. Thank y'all for joining me. And again, wind advisory for all of our areas. These storms start to develop all around the area. We'll be here to carry you through it. And thank y'all for coming by and visiting with me for a little while. We'll keep you up to date with everything that happens with the weather throughout the afternoon, as well as breaking news in our area, headlines and all. That was so sad, and I'm sure most people have seen this now, that Betty White passed away yesterday. They had already released the People magazine about her turning 100 and her plans for what she was going to do. And she had mentioned she was in such perfect health, and then passed away. She was an icon. She was around forever. And probably most remembered for her portrayal in Golden Girls, and that Hot in Cleveland was pretty big for her, but she was in a lot of movies. And go back and look at her when she was in her 20s. Do a Google of that. You go, wow, she was really a pretty lady. She will be missed. She had a uncanny humor about her. She was really good. Thank y'all. I'll see you soon as we watch the weather throughout the area. And again, thank each and every one of y'all for watching this. We appreciate you there. And we'll be back here in just a little bit. Thanks for dropping by.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by